Hello everyone and welcome to our last day of Yveltal Gallade Zoroark. Now, it's been a pretty good week, I would say. We have taken a few losses, but overall I'd say the deck is working pretty nicely. We've dealt really well with everything we should have dealt with, except for Trevenant, which we lost to because we started out Seismitoad. We got red carded on turn 1, and there really wasn't much we could do afterwards as we didn't draw anything good. But not the end of the world. Now we're up against a Lightning, Psychic, Water deck, potentially Night March with Octillery, or Milotic, potentially something with Slowking as well, like a Manectric Robot Slowking, but no Shaman. I think is going to be really weird for my opponent. Honestly, at this point, I think the only non-Shaman deck that is viable is probably Greninja Break. I'm not sure if you guys know, but I did manage to win a regional championship with Greninja Break, and my tournament report will be going up tomorrow exclusively on bitcultures.com if you want to check that out. See how my rounds went, see how my matches went. And okay, we start off with a pretty ugly hand, to be honest. We start off with a pretty ugly hand, but we shall see how we do. Now it seems, oh, well, I did see, I was gonna say we're up against a fire deck, but never mind. I did see water, lightning, and psychic as the types he's using, so it is some sort of auxiliary deck. Now, it'll be interesting to see what my opponent is using. I'm going to discard a Darkness Energy. I'm going to discard the Maxis and hopefully the Gallade. Hopefully the Gallade. Yep, there's the Gallade. Now, with my Ultra Ball, it's a tough decision as to what to discard. I mean, one Shaman, but do I want to discard the DCE? Probably not. Do I want to discard the Floatstone? Also not. And do I want to discard Zoroark? I guess that's the only choice I have. I really don't want to, but I have to. I mean, I do have Puzzle of Time, so I can bring it back. Unless I'm completely mistaken and Puzzle of Time only... No, it brings back absolutely any card, right? So I'm going to bench the Zorua, I'm going to attach the Voltstone to Zorua, I'm also going to attach the DCE to Zorua, and I'm going to get a free Shaman. Well, not exactly free, but I'm going to get 6 cards off of it. I do get another Zorua, which is nice. I also get 1 Puzzle of Time, but the best thing out of that is the fact that... Oh wow, I actually just misplayed. Huh. Well, we're still okay. I mean, I'm going to get Gallade out next turn, 100% sure. There's no way I do not get Gallade out. But I could have gotten it the previous turn. I really could have, because I had not played a supporter yet. So that was a silly mistake on my end. But yeah, no matter what we top deck, we can definitely get Gallade out. The best top deck would obviously be... oh, crap. Man, I should have. If my opponent judges me, yep, he is going to judge me. He doesn't have much himself, but I could have had Gallade, and I could have had a lot more cards in my hand. Okay, wow, I can actually still get Gallade off here. It is Manectric, so even more important to get Gallade off here. He decides to retreat, but he doesn't have an energy, which is obviously good. Let's see, our trainer's mail will be able to fetch me a Puzzle of Time. So, we will be able to do a ton of damage to this Manectric. We will be able to get Gallade out as well. So, I'm going to use the second effect. I will get back this Zoroark and the Battle Compressor, right? I could get the Trainer's Mail, but I'm gonna get the Battle Compressor just in case. Going to bench Zoroark. We aren't going to play down an Yveltal EX, but seeing how it's a Manectric deck, we might not really need to. This TCE, I really would rather attach it to something different, but looks like that's not going to be possible. I'm going to get rid of a Sycamore, a Hex Maniac, and another compressor, I guess. Yep, another compressor. Now the DC, this is important. Who do we attach the DC to? We could attach it to Seismitoad and lock my opponent out of item cards, which I think is my best play, because there's no need to risk Zoroark right now, and I will also have Gallade out in this turn, so if I'm able to get another DC, I could potentially KO the Manectric next turn, and I threaten absolutely everything my opponent has. So now I'm going to use stand-in. There's no point in me doing 70 damage, like that's not really too relevant. If I get the DCE, I KO with Gallade no matter if it's 30 damage or if it's 70, so might as well lock my opponent out of items while I can, right? I think that's a better play. Now with this other compressor, I'm going to get rid of this Yveltal. I could get rid of one Yveltal EX, you could make a case for that. Could make a case for the Megaphone as well, for the Floatstone, for an energy, I guess, but I'm going to get rid of one Ultra Ball and one Yveltal EX. I don't foresee Yveltal EX being too useful with the current setup we have. I'm now going to use Premonition, and no DC up for us. So what do we want? If we assume we are going to use Sycamore next turn, I'd rather top deck. I guess this order is fine. I mean, the Muscle Band can be attached to anything, and in case he attaches a Flash Energy, I don't know. But I'm gonna Quaking Punch. That's the best play I could make right now. And without items, like he might have been saving, wow, he might have been saving a Verseeker, which seems like it's not the case. That Manectric has a ton of HP, and now what I need to remember is I should not attach the Muscle Band to the active Seismitoad. That's what I need to remember not to do. Or to Gallade, so that I prevent him from doing too much damage from me or to me with Manectric's Assault Laser. I do really like Manectric Crobat as a deck. He goes for Overrun, that's perfectly fine. Now I'm going to attach a Darkness Energy here. Is it worth it to use Hex Maniac? I guess it is, because he now has Octillery. It could also prevent a turn of damage from Crobat. So I'm gonna go for that. And oh, I should have used Premonition before. I'm so silly. I'm gonna Sycamore next turn anyway, but that was very silly of me to use the Hex Maniac before the Premonition. Now I don't really mind Seismitoad being damaged. His best play is definitely not to attach to the active Manectric. So I could have baited, I guess, the energy by attaching the Muscle Band to my Seismitoad. Maybe that would have been the correct play. But as long as I don't attach the tool to my own Gallade, I should be fine here. I really should be okay. My opponent is thinking really hard. Ilaika, she does attach. She does attach a Flash Energy and 60 damage. Wow. Plus 130. That's not going to be enough, actually. That is not going to be enough. And she KO'd my Shaman. So against all odds, she gets ahead in this game, actually. Against all odds. Now, with the Muscle Band, I can now KO the Manectric. Even though she has the flash energy because 150 plus 60 is 210 exactly. So I'm really glad I held on to that muscle band. And I'm not gonna bench the other Yveltal. It's pretty worthless and I already have one. Like, I might eventually want an Yveltal EX, so there's no need to claim that bench space. I'm gonna attach the Fighting Fury belt to the Seismitoad though, that's for sure. I do get the energy that we knew was coming. I'm going to use the Trainer's Mails now. I'm going to keep the Acrobike in case I need to ensure I get X card out of my top from thanks to Gallade's ability. Now, as you can see, there's a lot of Sycamores right there still left in my deck. I also get the Megaphone, which I'm going to keep just in case he tries to do something funny next turn. But I've already played a supporter, I can safely retreat here, I can use Premonition, and unless he runs Max Elixir, I'm not too scared of... Actually, I'm not gonna choose the... Okay, I'm gonna do it like this. Yeah. Just in case she somehow KOs Gallade, I can actually bring it back next turn. Or maybe not. It'd be rough. But anyways, I'm just gonna take my KO here. Sensitive Blade, 150 damage plus the 60 she already has. Doesn't matter that she has the Fighting Fury belt, we get a KO. Could have used the Megaphone to get rid of the Floatstone, but she has Golbat, so it's really a mute point. She might want to attach another Fighting Fury belt, but that won't matter either because I do have the Judge. So I mean, no, it doesn't really matter unless she attaches a Flash Energy, which she might have, actually. She might actually have. If she does get the Flash Energy, we might have to start doing like weird tricks, using Zoroark, doing some damage with Seismitoad and then retreating and putting Gallade up. She actually attaches to Golbat instead of Manectric, which is interesting. I guess that forces me to have the Lysander, which I actually do not have access to just yet. But there's no need for me to leave Gallade out in the open. I can just retreat and take the KO with Zoroark and attach the Darkness to the other Zorua. But I really wish I had access to Lysander. And from our Premonition, we know it's not in the next 5 cards, so it might actually be priced. And I do not know that, maybe. There's a Golbat, or the Crobat rather. She places the 3 damage counters onto the Gallade. Now she gets to do 60 more damage, unless she has a Muscle Band, then she actually gets a KO, which would not be ideal for us. Which would definitely not be ideal for us. She's going to Ultra Ball away another Golbat, get another Zubat out, so she's going to rely on a lot of abilities. But she only has 2 cards left in her hand. I can actually Hex Maniac and get a KO on this Crobat. Versus Seeker, she hasn't played a supporter yet. No, she hasn't. So she's probably digging for that Muscle Band. Does she get it? Does she have it in her deck, and does she get it? Gets rid of a Level Ball. Super Rod is in the discard pile. Okay, she doesn't get it. But, okay, I am 20 damage away from getting KO'd, which is obviously not ideal. And what I need to do is to try and guarantee that I can get Gallade up and running next turn. So, having said that, I'm going to attach to Zorua. I'm going to... Yeah, the thing is, Gallade gets KO'd no matter where it is. But if I use the Hex Maniac, I force the KO from the Manectric. I force an energy and a KO and yeah. 3, 4. It's going to be a close. Like it'll all depend on if I can. Okay, I'm going to judge here. I think that's my best play. I'm actually going to judge. And I need to be a wow. Wow. That was the absolute worst possible hand I could have gotten out of that judge. So I'm going to use Premonition. Man, that hand is absolutely hideous. So I'm going to place Yveltal at the top and then going to place Zoroark. Well, I'm actually going to place the Yveltal and then Zoroark, and then the Sycamore and then Zoroark. Oh boy, this is not good. So, seeing this... Oh wow, and I actually also messed up because if he doesn't KO... No, he's going to KO Gallade. There's no way he doesn't KO Gallade. Right? Right? Yeah, I'm going to use Gallade's attack. I will get a KO on this Crobat through resistance, just barely. Let's see what we get here. An Ultra Ball? Not really useful. What we needed was a Versus Seeker. And there's the Muscle Band. Wow, he top decks the Muscle Band. He has the energy, so no matter what, Gallade is gone. He should only have potentially 1 Golbat left. There's 2 in the discard pile, yep. And the Super Rod, so that's good. He does go for the Ultra Ball, gets rid. Wow, he plays 3 Head Ringers. So he's going to place the damage. He will get a KO on Gallade. He has already attached an energy, so I can safely promote Yveltal. It's not at risk of getting KO'd by any means. And I can come back with consecutive attacks with my Zoroark. And even Yveltal EX is not KO'd by Mega Manectric. Only if he has another Crobat or Golbat for next turn. So I might actually want to hold on to the Yveltal EX. Wow, this is going to be a really, really close end to the match. Because I did not have that Lysander. She might also deck herself. Like, I could potentially Lysander the other Artillery, which doesn't have a Floatstone. She goes for a Shona. That'll make her deck 1 card thinner. And I guess she doesn't even need to risk the Manectric right now. Like, there's no need for her to damage the Yveltal because she's not going to KO it anyways. And the extra 20 damage probably won't make a difference at this point in the game. She gets another Golbat. So if she targets Zorua, I might be in a bit of trouble. Oh boy. She hasn't placed the damage counter. Okay, she placed it on Seismitoad. She's gonna try and KO that. So that's all 4 Golbats in total. So at most she has... Wow, she actually is going to give up on Artillery. So this changes things a bit. This definitely changes things a bit. I need back-to-back attacks on that Manectric EX. Right? And I need her not to have Lysander, which she's only played 1 Verseeker and 1 Lysander. Wow. So I'm in a lot of trouble here. But I can't not take a KO, actually. I can't not take a KO. So I'm going to use Mind Jack, deal way too much damage to that Artillery, get myself another prize. I get the Lysander, but it's too late for that. It's really too late for that. I mean, that's the thing. I could potentially bring up the auxiliary, but I'm betting she has AC as well, right? She must have AC as well. Ugh. Wow. She goes after Zorua now. Going to Abyssal Hand. 2 cards left in her deck. We have not seen AC. She still has a ton of Versus Seekers available to her. But man, this is a really close end to the series. Acrobike. Wow, she just decked herself. I mean, can she get 3 prize cards? I guess she could bench Crobat. No, she can't KO Seismitoad. So she just decked herself. Which makes no sense. She still had a good chance to win the game. She still had a good chance to win the game. Now all I need to do is pass the turn and win. That's all I have to do. That's really all I have to do. This is so weird. Why would you... I mean, has she even realized it? She's thinking so hard about this Acrobike. I mean, she must have been searching for something, right? Well, I guess that's it. She doesn't even keep the Crobat. So her last 2 cards were maybe... Not entirely sure. Come on. Do something. You've already lost. So do something. Stop wasting both of our times. Go on, take your KO. I hate this guy. Finally. Like, why do people take so freaking long? Okay, just assuming I did not win by deck out, could have dealt 40 damage and then dealt 130 with Zoroark. So I'm going to try and do that. Well, it doesn't really matter. Whatever. No matter where Manectric went, I don't think he had enough to KO the Seismitoad. There was no need for me to bench the Yveltal. And yeah, that's the game. I think I still win this despite, like without needing the deck out. I think I still won that pretty easily. Well, not pretty easily. It was definitely a complicated game. So let's move on and find our next game. Let's move on and find our next game. So GG to my opponent. She definitely made it harder than I expected it to be. Because we whiffed that Lysander on the turn where we had the second Gallade up, and she didn't make the misplay of promoting Manectric and trying to Naba KO that way. Now looks like we're up against a Greninja deck, so this should be an interesting match. For sure. Gallade is going to be really important. We need to be offensive. Mono Water means Greninja. It 100% means Greninja. Could mean Primal Kyogre. Definitely could mean Primal Kyogre. Could also mean Wailord, I guess. But I don't think it will be Wailord. Not entirely sure, but I don't think it will be Wailord. Now... There we go. So we get to go first. We get to see what my opponent has. I mulligan, which seems to be a recurrent theme this week. My opponent does have a basic Pokemon. And let's see. Like I said, guys, at the beginning of the video, if you want to read my Greninja Break report, it'll be up on Saturday morning on the website bitcultures.com. Exclusively, it'll be there. And yeah, okay. So we start off with both Yveltals. That's pretty cool. We also have the Judge, which is nice. Which is definitely nice to, like, that might sets him back so much. Definitely the games I ended up losing in the regional championship were because of the fact that I got disrupted very early on. So I'm going to play the Puzzle of Time to see if there's a Floatstone in the next few cards. Since there isn't a Floatstone, I'm not even going to bother benching Shaman, because if I draw Shaman out of Judge, that's another out I can get so that I don't get stuck. What I need now is a Floatstone and an energy. So I get this Zorua. I also get Shaman, so I probably got the absolute best hand possible out of out of that Judge. I'm going to keep the Verse Seeker for now, get an energy in the discard pile, just in case I cannot find the Floatstone next turn. I can at least get some energy advantage from that. And I could potentially even find Gallade next turn with this Ultra Ball. So now I'm definitely going to play the Battle Compressor. I'm going to get rid of the Maxis, which I did see. I'm going to get rid of the Hex Maniac as well. The Maxis and the Gallade. There's the Gallade. So things are looking really nice. Like, this is probably one of the best first turns you could hope for against a deck like Greninja. You disrupt them, and you also have the potential for a next turn Gallade, and you have like a hand with a Berserker, with a Sycamore, with the Zoroark line. So definitely a very nice start. Definitely a very nice start. And I'm sure he realizes the danger he's in. He actually judges me himself. So I think Judge is inferior in that deck to Ace Trainer. I used to run Judge in my previous list. You can definitely see that. Wow, he flips heads. You can see that in the list I used in the channel, but I've since then changed to Ace Trainer, and now the Judge ended up hurting me quite badly. I took it a puzzle of time to hopefully fix this situation. I will be able to fix it by top decking a Sycamore. So there's not really much I can do right now. I could Sycamore, I guess, or Lysander rather, because if he doesn't have another energy, if he has something like a Wally's, that could prevent him from getting the turn 2 water duplicates, I guess. So I don't see any harm in using the Lysander. He does have the energy. He has the Ultra Ball to find the Frogadier. So this match just got a lot more complicated. I'm happy though that he gets all of this out. He actually gets all 4 Frogadiers out. And because we did with an energy the previous turn. Okay, this Muscle Band. Do I attach the Muscle Band to Zoroark? I will. But I'm not happy I did it. And still no Floatstone at all. Okay. I'm going to use an Ultra Ball, get rid of these 2 Yveltals. I'm going to get a Shaman. Now, what's my opponent's last card in hand? That's pretty important to know. I'm going to use another Ultra Ball, get rid of these 2 cards. I don't want to attach an energy just yet. I'm going to find the other Yveltal, which will be pretty important, I think. No Gallade for us, unfortunately. No chance at a Gallade. I'm going to attach the energy to Yveltal, and I'm going to hope. I think attaching that energy was a mistake, because odds of getting a DCE are higher. Yep, there it is, than the Floatstone. But I still have a shot at the Floatstone with the Battle Compressor. I'm going to get rid of this. There's 1 Floatstone. There's 2 Floatstones. I'm going to get rid of an Ultra Ball, and I'm going to get rid of the Seismitoad. So there's 15 cards left in our deck. 2 of them are the Floatstone. So can we hit it? No, we can't. Can we get it off of this Acrobike? Can we, please? Can we? Yes, we can. Perfect. Oh, finally. Wow. Yeah, I really need to get some damage going right about now. So I'm able to retreat, I'm able to promote Yveltal EX, and I can Evil Ball for the KO. Wow. Literally the last card we were able to see off of everything we played. Now, our deck is so thin that we definitely won't be needing to power up, or to rather Sycamore away stuff. Our Verse Seekers can go exclusively to Hex Maniac to prevent damage from my opponent. And he promotes Froakie, so looks like he doesn't have anything in his hand. He gets the head slip, but because we do have Zoroark, that is not an issue. And right now, if he top decks anything that can get him Octillery, I'm going to use my first Verse Seeker for Hex Maniac in case he does have Octillery right now. And, oh, I'm so stupid. I didn't use stand-in first before the... Oh, I'm so dumb. I'm sorry, guys. I just gave a free turn to my opponent. I literally just gave a free turn to my opponent. He gets another heads. Looks like he doesn't even have Octillery, but should be ahead by more prices now. That was so stupidly silly of me. Like, I really apologize for that. I'm going to power up an Yveltal EX with a lot of damage, or rather with a lot of energy. I'm going to get rid of this Froakie to prevent any more paralysis shenanigans, and then I think I'm going to target the Remoraid with a Verse Seeker into Lysander. Let's see what he top decks. Let's see what he top decks. Oh, there it is. Man, if I had not played that Hex Maniac so stupidly before I used stand-in, my plan would have worked flawlessly. I KO'd the thing that paralyzes me, and then I KO'd the thing that could have fetched him a new hand. He would have had a Greninja. That is perfectly fine. That is absolutely perfectly fine by me. Ugh. I hope that misplay doesn't cost me the game. I really hope it doesn't. It might, but I really hope it doesn't. That was so silly of me. I'm sorry, guys. I really am sorry. Like, every day, people point out mistakes I make. They point out plays that I could have made more optimally, plays that escaped me, and things like that. I realize these plays, and I really appreciate you guys pointing them out. But I do want to defend myself a little bit. It's not easy to talk and play at my 100% best and concentrated self when I record the videos, okay? As I try to explain what I'm thinking and why I do the things I do during the games, it gets a bit like some things just escape me. That's exactly it. Some things just escape my train of thought. Some plays escape me. I sometimes miss on cards that are there and things like that. It's not on purpose, obviously. It's definitely not on purpose. But it happens. So things like what I just did, like the misplay with the Hex Maniac and the stand-in. That in real life tournaments where I'm concentrated and I know I have to win the matches and everything, that would absolutely not happen. But because I'm not paying, or because I'm talking, no, I am paying attention, but because I'm talking everything and like I'm thinking so far ahead that I just forget to do the things that I needed to do beforehand. Now, Greninja, how much damage am I doing? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12 plus the thingy, that's a KO. But do I want to... I think I'm going to Lysander KO the Octillery here. Because at this point, my Yveltal is looking pretty unstoppable. It's really looking pretty unstoppable. And I really need a price card here. Man, that misplay might I'm not gonna say it might cost me the game, but it could definitely make it a lot harder than it needed to be. Now, there's no DC in the discard pile yet, so as long as I'm able to find a DC, I can even one-hit KO Greninja Break, which is awesome. Now, no Hex Maniac, unfortunately, to prevent all of the damage counters raining on me right now. But I really need to find my DCE in order to one-hit KO that Greninja Break. Giant Water Shuriken goes into the Yveltal EX. He identifies that as a threat, which it is, it really is. Now you would expect my opponent to get tons of water energies here. Yeah, he only has 2 in the discard pile, so he definitely should be able to find more. Potentially enough so that he can, Water Shuriken the active, get that KO. Thankfully I can promote this Zoroark with the float zone. Maybe a better play would have been to Hex Maniac, retreat the DCE, and wow, he even has Bursting Balloon. Wow. Now I'm really worried. Now I'm genuinely worried here. I top deck the DC I needed. Let's see what we get here. I get a Versus Seeker, so I'm going to take the damage back, but I will be able to Hex Maniac. Do I want to Hex Maniac though? I do want to Hex Maniac this turn. I could also Judge. Gallade is looking like a no-go this time around. And I am putting all my eggs into one basket with this Yveltal, but I do also have the Fighting Fury belt attached. So Evil Ball should do 170 damage, right? Yep. So exact KO onto Greninja Break. He did get the Bursting Balloon, which definitely does hurt me, but it's not the end of the world. He promotes the Greninja from X and Y. I basically need Yveltal EX to survive 2 turns. If he has a Megaphone, then we will be in a lot of trouble, because he will be able to KO me. But looks like he doesn't. So by attaching to that Greninja, I'm guessing he's going to sacrifice it, which means as long as I can access a Lysander, Lysander is there. Versus Seeker, I've played 3 of them. So I should still have 1 Verseeker left, although it might be my last prize. She returns 5 cards, discards a Water and a Wallis. Could have used the Wallis to get the Octillery, but there's no abilities just yet. So I guess I do agree that the Sycamore was overplayed. He does get an Evosoda, so now he has more Greninjas active. Oh, he got the Megaphone. He got the Megaphone. Yikes. Now you have 0 energy in play. 0 energy in play. Wow. Wow. Now I'm really, really worried. That turn that I misplayed might cost me the game. It seriously might cost me the game. Wow. And I get nothing off of the... to help me. I'm in a lot of trouble, guys. I'm in 100% a ton of trouble. Going to attach the Fighting Fury belt here. I'm going to attach the Energy Yveltal. The problem is the Shamans. The Shamans are a very easy target for him. The Shamans are a very, very easy target. That turn I misplayed is going to cost me the game. It really is going to cost me the game. I know that now. He even has 2 Greninja from X and Y. So that list is very similar to the list I was using. Like, he got the Bursting Balloon, the 1 Bursting Balloon he played, when he needed it, he got the Ugh. He got the megaphone when he needed it, and I misplayed. If I hadn't done that misplay, I would be down to 1 price. He would have never been able to get artillery going. His hand would have never increased in size. Crap. Crap, crap, crap. Not good, guys. Not good. And he's gonna target shamans, which makes sense. All he has to do is miss slash, gets the energy back. Oh wow, he actually... Okay, yeah, all he needs is... Yeah, I cannot KO Greninja Break. So all he needs is 1 energy to win the match. That's all he needs. Oh, I'm sorry, guys. That misplay, I cost myself the game. There is no other way around it. I cost myself the game. 110, I'm 30 damage short in the KO. So not even a Giovanni scheme. Only a Giovanni scheme plus a muscle band would have been enough. But all he needs is a water energy to giant water shuriken the shaman. He has a Berserker, he has a Fisherman, so that's the game. Wow. I'm sorry we end up with a loss. I definitely should have won that one, or it would have been very different. Like, I think I would have been too far ahead and left him with no way to draw cards if I had played that correctly. But that's what happens when you commentate and play at the same time. Thank you guys for watching. Please leave a like on the video if you can. Despite the loss, I think it was a really good game, and there wasn't any like bad luck from either side. We both judged each other. I hurt him with my judge, he hurt me with his judge, and then I misplayed. So that will be all. Thank you guys, and I will see you next week, as it looks like Mega Rayquaza Jolteon is coming in to be the featured deck. Thank you guys, and bye bye.